Now that you guys have the PDF downloaded, I'm going to have you guys work along with me as we do these next couple subtracting decimal problems. So we have 13 and 1/10 and 8 and 7/10, and we need to make an estimate first. So I'm going to estimate 13 and 1/10 to 13, and I'm going to estimate 8 and 7/10 to 9. So my estimate for that is going to be 4. And just so you guys know, I have a little cheat sheet today because I did make a mistake yesterday when we were adding decimals. And there was, at the time of this video recording, one little someone that will go unnamed, Sophie, that did call me out on it. So good job for calling me out on that, Soph. And the rest of you guys should have caught it too. Hopefully you did, but first mistake I ever made. So now I need to do the actual subtraction, and I need to line up the decimals. So I've got my 13 and 1/10, and then I have 8 and 7/10. So I'm going to line up my decimals and my tenths, which means my 8 ends up lining up under my 3. And when I subtract, I can't do 1 minus 7, so I have to borrow from this 3. It becomes a 2. My 1 becomes an 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. My decimal falls down into my problem. Can't do 2 minus 8, so I have to borrow from over here. And then 12 minus 8 is 4. So my answer is 4 and 4/10, which is pretty close to my estimate of 4. For number 2, I have 6 and 87/100 and 2 and 52/100. So I'm going to estimate this to 7, and I'm going to estimate that to 3. And when I do 7 minus 3, I get 4. So I have 6 and 87/100, and these hundredths line up nice and neat. So I can subtract. 7 minus 2 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. My decimal falls into my answer, 4 and 35/100. So now I'm going to pause this video, and I want you guys to pause your video, and I want you guys to try 3 and 4 on your own, and then we'll get back together and I'll do 3 and 4 with you guys. All right, so hopefully you completed 3 and 4 on your own. And for 62 and 432 thousandths, you got an estimate of 62. And 19 and 712 thousandths, you got an estimate of 20. So if we subtract those, we get an estimate of 42. And then when I'm lining these up, I've got 62 minus 19 and 712 thousandths. And then when I do my subtraction, 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. You can't do 4 minus 7, so you have to borrow from over here. And you end up with 14 minus 7 is 7. My decimal falls into my answer. I can't do 1 minus 9, so I have to borrow from this 6. 11 minus 9, sorry, is 2. 5 minus 1 is 4. I end up with 42 and 720 thousandths. And for my last one on this page, 17 and 41/100 and minus 6 and 74 thousandths, I'm going to have an estimate of 17 minus 6 is 11. And then this one's a little bit trickier to line up because this one goes to the hundredths place and this one goes all the way out to the thousandths place. So I have 17 and 41/100 minus 6 and 274 thousandths. I need to put that placer 0 here. When I subtract, I can't do 0 minus 4, so I have to borrow from over here. That becomes 10 minus 4, which is 6. Can't do 0 minus 7, so I have to borrow from over here. That becomes 3. I can do 3 minus 2. That's a 1. My decimal falls into my answer. 7 minus 6 is 1. And then this one, if we were to put a placer 0 here, our answer would be 11 and 136 thousandths. Okay, guys, last 2 problems for today, and these are 2 word problems that involve money. So you bought a pizza for $12.19. You paid with a $20 bill. How much change did you get? So first of all, when we're doing subtraction and we have a word problem, we have to make sure that our number model is correct. So a lot of you guys are going to see $12.19 in the problem first, and you guys are going to try to do $12.19 minus $20. But that's going to be incorrect. You have the $20 bill. The larger number has to come first when you guys are subtracting. So our number model for this would actually be $20 minus $12.19. So if we're turning that into an estimate, obviously $20 is going to be $20. And then my $12.19, I'm going to round that to $12. So my estimate is you're going to get about $8 and change back. So if I turn that into a vertical problem, we have $20 minus, make sure you line up your decimals correctly, especially with money. And this is the biggest problem I see with you guys with subtraction. You're going to try to go 0 minus 9 is 9, 0 minus 1 is 1, and we can't do that. So I have to borrow to have enough to subtract this 9. This isn't going to help me. This isn't going to help me. So I have to come over here all the way to the tens place, and I have to change this 2 into a 1. That's going to change this into a 10 if I borrow. Still don't have help over here. In order to get help over here, this has to become a 9, which makes this a 10. Still hasn't helped over here, so we have to borrow one more time. This 10 becomes a 9 to then make that a 10. So now we can do our subtraction. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 2 is 7, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So $7.81 would be our change. Guys, you need to know how to make change. I promise you that's your parents' biggest pet peeve when they go to the grocery store and the cashier can't make change. Number 6, a pound of strawberries cost $2.49, and a pound of apples cost $1.99. How much more per pound do the strawberries cost than the apples? Again, if we need to come up with a number model, we are subtracting the larger number from the smaller number, or the smaller number from the larger number. So our larger number has to go first. So if I'm making an estimate for this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to estimate this to $2.50 because I know that I can round $1.99 to $2. And if I have $2.50 minus 1, we're going to round that to an estimate of about 50 cents. So then if we do the actual math, let's make it a vertical problem. Make sure our decimals are lined up. 9 minus 9 is 0. I can't do 4 minus 9, so I have to borrow from over here. This becomes 14 minus 9, which is a 5. My decimal falls into place. 1 minus 1 is 0. So the difference between strawberries and apples is 50 cents. Okay, so again, just like yesterday, I'm not going to give you guys the math boxes. I'm not going to give you guys the home link, but there is a Subtracting Decimals Khan Academy assignment that I want you guys to do. It's 4 questions. You guys can do that assignment as many times as you want to. Once you're happy with the grade you get, nothing less than a 50%, you guys can take a screenshot of that and turn it into Canvas. I also want you guys to upload your PDF that you did as you followed along with me. I want you to upload that to Canvas as well. That way I'm sure you guys were being held accountable and you actually did the work with me. So those 2 things you need to do. You need to upload this, this Subtracting Decimals PDF. You need to do that Khan Academy.